right now. A lot of interesting things that are going on. And, since we see a lot of real estate transactions on a regular basis between properties that we currently own, or doing loans on properties, getting paid off on properties, some rental properties, I want to share some insight with you on this HMB Live episode. I've been absorbing a ton of content over the last few days and following a lot of people in a lot of different industries, real estate, as well as many other industries. And, we have some interesting things going on, and, there's a lot of unfortunate stuff as well that's been going on. And, unfortunately, there's a lot of industries that are going to get hit extremely hard individually and on the business level. And the one thing is, I think a big part of this is just kind of the uncertainty of like, where do we go? Everything's changing day by day. I've been talking to a lot of people, a lot of industry experts, mostly in real estate, but other industries as well. And I'm going to share some of that stuff and some of the insights that I've had with them related to talking to some title companies and title insurers and real estate agents and flippers and wholesalers and rental property owners, other lenders, not just ourselves. So I've talked to a lot of people, and, because we're involved in so many transactions and we see a lot of stuff, I can share all this stuff with you openly. And if you have any questions kind of as I'm speaking, feel free to chat those to me, and I'm happy to answer those as well as we go through here. So the one thing is it seems like there's a lot of people that believe that this is only going to be short-lived and it's only going to be for a few months. And if you can kind of hunker down and take care of everything over the next few months, then you'll be kind of in a good spot. The one thing related to the downturn of the 2008 crisis is there was no end in sight. So a lot of people got really, really nervous. I think in general, it seems like most investors want to either be in cash or in real estate, in residential real estate. It seems like commercial real estate is struggling as well, but residential real estate seems to be pretty strong. Obviously, there's some consumer uncertainty, and that's obviously, going to happen. But after talking to a lot of people, and I mean, we're still closing loans. We're able to do that. I'm going to talk to you about remote closings and some of the things that some of the title companies have been sharing with me. But it seems besides consumer confidence, rates are still low, and that's obviously helped the real estate market in general. After talking to a few different real estate agents, they're still getting showings on their property. They're still signing listing agreements. They're still buying and selling houses. People are out there doing that. I guess the way you look at it as, hey, you buy a property today at, let's call it $100,000 with a low interest rate, 3.5% interest rate. It's kind of the same thing as, let's say the market goes down, and then the interest rates go up. Your payment ends up being the exact same thing anyway. So that's good. So some interesting stuff from a title company that we work with. I spoke to them because obviously if title companies and title insurers stop and close their business, chances are most real estate gets put on a halt. And I think in general, I don't think any industries or businesses want to get put on a halt. They want to do whatever they're willing to take, or they're willing to do. So it seems like remote closings and signings, that's what's happening right now. And even with remote notaries. So what ends up happening is, let's say I'm a buyer of a property, and the seller of the property is over at their house, and the notary is at their house. They do an actual signing that way, where the buyer's signing, they have the notary online with them, verify, and they see that that they signed electronically. They put their digital signature on it, and then the seller signs as well, and then it's a valid transaction. It goes to the title company, and then the title company, typically most counties you can e-record. I think the only ones that don't accept these virtual signings e-recorded is Montgomery, PG, and Baltimore City. So those have to get mailed in to get recording. But that's what I've been told from these title companies, because we have a closing today that a property we're selling. We have a loan that's closing today, and we had a loan that closed yesterday, and a few loans that closed earlier this week. And they're all happening that way, and mostly remote. So that's a good thing that real estate can go on. My concern when I was talking to this rep at this title insurance company and the title companies is what happens with fraud. Like, if everything's done digitally, doesn't that make you nervous? And they're saying that the title companies or not the title companies, the title insurers through Gap Insurance are covering that, and they're being cautious on that, but it almost sounds like they're willing to take the risk on it because they don't want to shut down the business and not write title insurance policies. So there's so many different moving factors, and this is all happening on a massive level. And then it kind of narrows down. So as of now, residential real estate seems to be fine. We're actually doing a meetup group, a virtual live online meetup group, March 25th. So make sure to check that out. I think just go to hardmoneybankers.com/March 25th, and you can get on to the meetup group site to access that Zoom. There's only 500 seats on that. So access that if you're interested. But we're going to bring on maybe in a similar format to this, where it's going to be multiple screens. There's going to be 4 or 5 people on there, and we're going to talk about kind of the state of the market, what people are thinking, where they're at, and things like that. So, just like anything else, I know I've been very optimistic for the future, and I know a lot of people as well. Obviously, we're in dark, scary times right now, but at the same time, and I'm not going to go and talk about the virus. I mean, there's a lot of unfortunate stuff, but I try to look on the bright side with stuff, and I think real estate industry in general is a little bit more insulated and a little bit more protected than some of the other industries. So that's a plus if you're actively investing right now. So there's going to be opportunities out there. So if there's opportunities out there, the way I look at it is this, and I've talked to so many people about this. I'm going to compare this to the stock market right now because I've been following so many different analysts and kind of just doing my own collective research to make my own decisions on, investing in cash and markets and the industries and stuff like that. But one guy was talking about Marriott, and he goes, Marriott's for a stock pick right now. He's like, Marriott is at such a good spot right now. Yes, the entertainment or the hospitality environment right now is getting slaughtered and killed, every day. But he was like, I would have dreamed to buy Marriott, to be involved in Marriott at the price I can buy it at today. So of course I'm going to buy. And then there's other analysts that are like, it's going to continue to go low and lower. Why would you buy? And I look at that compared to real estate in general. So if there's a number today that's worth you buying the property at, and it makes sense, buy it. And especially if it's a rental property, because if you can get good cash flow on that property, it makes sense. Why not continue to buy an asset that works? In general, an asset may depreciate lower than you bought it for. I could buy a property today for $100,000. It could be worth 90 tomorrow or 80 the next day. But if your strategy and your approach is a long-term business model, what does it matter? As long as, you're able to get tenants in there and get everything moving, think about it. It's not an easy decision. Not many people want to just go out and, buy all this real estate or do all this. There's a lot of uncertainty right now, but, do what you can, be safe out there. And if you have a good real estate transaction, it's probably worth entertaining doing it. I think there's going to be a lot of good opportunities that come up in the near future. So make sure to check out our live meetup. All of our meetup groups are going to be live now. March 25th, 1:30 p.m. March 25th, 1:30 p.m. Go to hardmoneybankers.com/March 25th hardmoneybankers.com/March 25th, and you can access the Zoom link and get on. We have a 2-hour time slot. We have only 500 people that can attend. So make sure you get on there and you access it. And if you have any questions kind of related to real estate investing, reach out. Happy to help. I feel like it's a little bit our duty to help as many real estate investors as possible right now, because we're just involved in so many transactions. We see a lot of deals for loans. We have, rental properties, some good tenants right now that unfortunately, that have been able to pay their rent, some that have lost their jobs, they can't pay their rent. So we're working out to help them as well. So we talk to a lot of people every day, between real estate agents and title attorneys and title insurance companies, and flippers and wholesalers and auction buyers and rental property owners. So as we get word, I'm going to continue to do some HMB lives to keep everybody up to date. And if you need anything in the meantime, feel free to reach out to me at jason@hardmoneybankers.com. Thanks again.